Sweet and spicy. So those are created. We have our package of our slider cards. That this will make 4 of the blank bases, and then with the accent sheets, then you can accent the front of your slider cards. Now I know so many of you are stampers and crafters, and you have so much scraps left over that you might want to just use some of your own materials to embellish the front of the cards. And we're going to get into that. We're going to be making the slider gift card holder. And then we have our pumpkin spice and everything nice, fun little mini album. This is a 6x6 that is a curved back album. And we'll get into that a little bit more, talking about this, that it can be a recipe album or it can just be a really fun fall album. And then for those of you that have ordered this kit, we'll be kind of going through that, our little haunted house. Now this is a 6x12 with the chipboard pages, and they're bound together with the rings. So we'll be putting that together and talking a little bit about that. But first, let's, I know a little string fuzzies here. Let's first talk about our slider gift card holders. So with this particular one, we sell them a couple different ways on the website. Is that we have the pack that is the 4 blank slider gift cards, and then the accent sheets that one sheet will embellish the front of one card. And then for the fall time, we've just put these together in a little 4-pack. So you'll get the 1 package, then you'll get the 4 sheets to make up these 4 cards for all your, to give to the teachers and the principals and the different people that we all need to be giving little fun little gift cards to this fall. So with this, I'm going to just show you how quick and simple it is to put together one of our slider cards. And I know, and I always forget to mention this when we start off, that with orders over $25, we're going to give you one of Pinecone Presses blanks. Orders over $75, you will get the free gift, the blank, plus you'll receive free freight. And we'll be talking a little bit later about a lot of different fall and Halloween albums and showing a preview of what we have there. But okay, this here, I'm going to pull out 2 of the cards. These are the cards that pull out. I don't even think we even talked about how these work. So we have the thanks for a latte, for all you do, or thanks a latte. So when I pull out this side, the other side pops out. And that is what a slider gift card holder is. So you will attach your gift card here. You could write a note here. You could put on 2 gift cards there. But they're just really fun, almost like magical, that you pull out the one side and the other side pops out. So we'll get into creating this now. So when I said I'm pulling out the 2 pieces here, I think this is what I forgot to even show you how those work. So when you pull this out, this is what we're going to be working on. This is the part that pulls out. So you've got the 2 white pieces. And then you're going to have your slider mechanism sleeve. So what I want to do is I'm going to take one of this. I want to use some of my red line tape and my really strong adhesive. And I'm almost going to flatten this out. Hopefully you can see this. You can see that there is the crease and the crease, and I want to flatten that out a bit. So I kind of flatten it and I just hold that down. And then I'm going to take a piece of my red line tape and put that down and flatten that. Take my red line tape and I'm going to put over that seam or the crease there. I'm just going to center it kind of right over it. And I'm going to just trim that off so it's even there. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. I'm going to kind of flatten that down so that I put my red line tape on it. I'm going to put it again just right over that crease and flatten that down. Yeah, it works better when I do it on the gray mat, then it doesn't stick to my paper, my tape. Okay, so now as you see, instead of that being like laying so flat, it now makes it look like a circle. So now I'm going to take my 2 cards and I'm going to put them just down in front of me. I'm going to take my mechanism here to peel off And when you put it on your red line tape, you want to really press it down hard so that it will peel off. And I am just going to go ahead and peel off both sides right now. I've got that peeled up. I'm going to take the one and I'm going to come in about, 1/8 of an inch, center it, and press it down. Now I'm going to take my cards with my little slider sleeve attached to it. I'm going to flip them over and I am going to attach this side there onto the back of that card. Press it down. So then it is going to create like this Z-shaped effect. Okay, so I had 2 of them laying down. I took my one piece and I put it onto the front. I flipped this over and I put the other piece then onto the back. That is going to give you this Z-shaped look. And it explains that in the instructions, kind of showing you here, if you take your slider cards, you put your red line tape over the seam and you do it so that it will end up looking like a Z. And there's also a longer tutorial online on YouTube. We've got a couple different YouTube channels that have a longer, and now I think back to like how we did this so many years ago. It's like why it took so long, because you can see how quickly you can do it. Okay, your slider base here, it is pre-scored. So you want to score and crease, not score, but fold and crease. And here if you want to pull out your bone folder, you can use that so you can get a really strong crease there. But those are nicely scored for you. Okay, so I folded it up. It will then roll up. Now actually it's going to roll this way. That's going to be onto our bottom. So now that those are creased, I'm going to now take my slider mechanism. And I should have said there's a couple different ways that we can do this. I can get it created like this, and then we'll go through a couple different ways here. Put it on, roll it up, and before I close it, I want to see that oh yeah, it works. Perfect, see? Pull out the one side, the other side pops out. Now I can take and I can cut my 2 strips that are left slider, my right slider, that is going to go on the slider cards here, and put those on now. Or this one is in work in progress here. Let me just unroll this and just show you. So this one, we went ahead and we put on our base papers before we put on the slider mechanism. It doesn't matter on that side, this side. And sometimes I will make them, because I'll get a lot of these made up and not sure what I'm putting on them. So I'll get them assembled like this. And then I can go ahead and cut these apart and just put them on before they're rolled up. And then you'll just have to trim off the one edge a little more because it will hit into your tape. So not to get overly confused here, but when I got this, and I'll show you, because one side does have your printed paper on and one side doesn't. So if you are going to be making this and putting your paper on first, then when you go to assemble it, you want your paper facing away from you. So you're looking at the blank side, and you're gonna thread that through that sleeve. You're gonna roll it up and put it on. And that ended up right side. Sometimes if the pattern is upside down, then you would just unroll it, flip it over, and then put it through. Now this is going to be upside down. And you see, that's why so many things that we want to check them before. See there, my pattern is upside down before we get that bottom adhered there. So, okay, but that's as simple as it is to make that slider card. Is you are going to be putting that the mechanism on there, slider sleeve, to make that, roll it up, and if I like it, then I can go ahead and put a little adhesive right here, and then just gonna stick it closed. And you want to just line this up like that. If it gets a little tight in here, a little binding, it won't pull as smoothly. So then when I'm finished with it, I'll just take and put a little bit of adhesive right there close it up. And there you go. So that's just a blank one. So like I said, a lot of times I'll get a bunch of these made up, and then when I'm needing something in a hurry, I can just quickly put on my little pieces here, and then the front accent images, and I'm set to go. Okay, let's go back and look at this one a little bit more if we need to. So again, this here, if you have gone ahead and put on your pattern paper first, which is fine and great, then it's going to be it's going to be facing away from you. Put your sleeve on, roll up, and see if I flipped it. Nope, it was right side. Okay, and then there you go. Then I can go ahead and put that on it. Or I might even want to, before I do it all up, then I know that it works nice, lay this flat, then I can go ahead and put my pieces down. I'm going to cut these apart. Some of them I might want to do with pop dots, and others, so I might want to put like a single layer pop dots, double layer, and I've got my leaves I want to stick under here, and then get all that really adhered down nicely. Then when that is on nice and secure, then I can roll this up, put my adhesive on here, and I am set to go. Now let me just show you on this one that several of these have the little sticks of cinnamon there. If you do not want to cut out the really fine pieces there of the twine, so when you order the 4-pack here, the fall latte set that will give you the twine, what we did is we just cut off the ends of those, just cut them straight, and then tied the twine around, that fun little twine. And again, so you can see we've got a single layer pop dots, double layer. This is just laying flat, then a single layer, and then putting on a double layer on for our cinnamon sticks that stick up. But isn't that kind of just a really fun little present to give somebody when you're giving them a gift card? Makes the presentation really fun. So that is our slider gift card holders. Again, you get the 4-pack that will make up 4 of the blank sliders. Now, on our website, this just comes under slider card blanks or blanks, and this is what the blank box is. So this pack will make 4 of these blank cards. And then there are probably 30 or 40 different accent papers that you can pick up. And then we do have the one combo set that shows you get the 4 sheets of paper, or you just go through and pick out as many papers as you want to. Okay. Let's kind of move this out of the way. And again, with our pumpkin spice, this is, like I said, just being such a fun time of the year, that with this is, I love the colors here. So with this kit that you'll get the brown, the orange, kind of the yellow gold, and the cranberry raffia to accent our album. This is one of our 6x6 curved back spine albums. What we did with this is we went ahead and painted it with a rust acrylic paint, and you can just kind of see those ribs there. Now, if I wanted to highlight it, I could just highlight with a little bit of light or something, and then those ribs would even show up a little more. And this we've set up as a combo book. It can be either a recipe album for all those fun fall drinks, or if you did not want to have this as a recipe album, you could just go ahead and put your photo right over here, and you'd have a nice rust border on this. In this kit that we have given you 12 of the sleeves. So what you want to do is, because these sleeves are a little bit longer, then what we need is we have folded it over. So at 5 3/4 inches, want to score and just fold, or just stick your a card in there and fold that over. And then on the back side, you'll have the paper to make another photo mat that will cover right over that. Now we went ahead and put this paper down first before we punched our holes, just to give a little more strength to this glassine envelope, because you don't want to have your recipe card go in there all the way, because you want to be able to pull it out. Or if you didn't want to pull it out, well, no, because then it's a little short. And I say you can just leave it in there, and then it's kind of protected. but you're gonna want to go ahead and punch your holes in your glassine envelopes before you put your recipe cards in. So we have the long glassine envelopes, folded it at 5 3/4, and then just put a little adhesive there to stick that down. Cover it with a piece of the colored cardstock. Now you can put your photo all the way over here, then be punching through your photo. This one we just kept a little short so that the photo would not have the punch holes through it. And you can or cannot take this edge that sticks up and fold it down and put your photo right over top of that. It just gives this edge a little more stability. Or on this one side, we have just left the back side of the glassine envelope sticking out a bit. And then you pull out your recipe card. But again, this one we just did not put the photo all the way over, but still with that one layer of cardstock onto the glassine, it gives it some stability so you're not gonna pull through. So this little album is full of all of our little latte pictures and images, kind of our spice sticks and all that. And like I said, so then you're going to be getting 12 of these envelopes. We're only using 6 shown here in the kit because we have just put one envelope in between each of the pages. But if you wanted to add double the recipes, so that's why we're giving you 12 so that you can add, you could have double envelopes in here. So that would be fun. And then even these pockets are big enough that if you wanted to put more than one recipe card in there, you can certainly put more than one recipe card in there. But isn't this just kind of a fun little fall album? You record and just have fun recipes of your pumpkin spice bread or pumpkin chocolate chip cookies and drink recipes and just all things pumpkin spice and everything nice. And again, with like all the Pinecone kits, they come with the full colored instructions. They have the ribbons. This one you'll get the 6x6 chunky album with the curved back spine, your papers, glassine envelopes, a dozen of those, and these really fun yummy ribbon colors. Okay, that is Pumpkin Spice Everything Nice album. And because it is that spooky time of the year, let's take a look at our Haunted House album. Now this is, so with this album kit, you'll get a set of the chipboard pages. And you see these pages are pretty darn thick. They're pretty sturdy in that for the chipboard. This is probably about 3 or 4 times the thickness of like a cereal box, something. So you've got that come punched with the 6 holes. You will have rings to bind it, your ribbons, fun little ephemera. And again, kind of with like all the Pinecone kits, they come with the full colored instructions. Now, this project is really fun and quick, and it's a great thing then for the kids to even help you with, because we're starting by covering that, but I just want to show you inside before we talk a little more. We have created a lot of little flaps. So you've got little flappies on everywhere. Then you have obviously Frankie's laboratory. More little icons that lift and open and flip, so for a lot of the fun little pages. So a lot of times with Pinecone kits, you will get hours and hours of fun creating. This one goes together really quite quickly. So it starts off with, we're going to be taking your 12 by 12 paper, as shown by the cutting guide here. You're going to take that paper and you're just going to cut it 6 by 12. You have your front cover and you have your back cover. Front cover, back cover. And then we add the accent strip of the Haunted House, and that came from our border strip. So you're just going to cut your Haunted House out and adhere that right onto your paper. Now when you do this, that we moved it in about 1/4 of an inch so that the rings would not go through the center of our words, and that we want to be able to see mostly the Haunted House. So you want to adhere this border strip about 1/4 inch in from the edge. Put that on. Then we needed to add a little more embellishment, so we wanted to cut out the pumpkin, and that just comes from, you have a whole sheet of icon cards here, little 2 by 2s. So that is where the pumpkin and the black cat came from, one of those cards. And then, like I said, this one is really just a fun little album because it goes together so quickly. So you're going to be cutting all of your paper into 6x12s and covering your chipboard. Then you can cover it and then go through, punch your holes, that ring. You will have your black cardstock so that you can cut the strips to make your little foldovers. There. Cover that, add your photos, put your foldovers down there. Okay, now this one though, before you put this paper down, we want to cut out around a little Frankie's head, and we want to cut around our little skeleton guy, because that is just part of the paper. That's not an extra add-on onto that. So when you cut this paper in half, again, before you adhere it, go ahead with a craft knife, cut around your Frankie, cut around the left side of that skeleton poster. Then you'll be able to put your photos in here. We have a lot of little words all throughout, and those come from, we have a whole band of words right here and some words there. So you want to be cutting that strip out and using those, our mad scientists there, our monsters, where do we have monsters? Monsters there. So in that just a little accent onto the pages. Then we have a little more embellishment that also came from this border strip. Okay, the next page is you're going to cover those chipboards. Then add your photos, add your little foldovers and flap ups, and again we're adding a little bit from that border strip. When we're cutting out good witches, and the good witches come from our Gazette words here. So that was a long strip, but we just cut it because we wanted to layer them and because we didn't have enough room. So we add your good witches. Then add your dots and your pumpkin heads, your photos, and more of your little foldovers. When you get this all together, then take your binder rings, put them through, and tie the ribbons on. Can you see how quick this album goes together? This one is just, like I said, sometimes just fun to do a project that you can get completed in a couple of hours. So it's going to take you longer to find your photos than it is to complete this project, which a lot of times, like I said, is just really fun to create something that doesn't take you hours and hours of working on. Okay, so that kit, a fun little Halloween kit, and I believe it's on the website, I think for $20 right now, doing a little fall special with that. Camera cards, and then we have it again without, but okay, now this one, you can see where we have cut out the witch. So this is created with the 8x8 paper pad. Great about that is that you get 3 sheets of each of the papers so that you can use one sheet to go ahead and decide what you want to cut out, make 3D and pop up. Now we purposely did not use the 3rd sheet of this for some of you that really wanted to get into some more details. Maybe you wanted to pop her hat up a little more, or the broom again, or maybe the mushroom top, so that we left that 3rd sheet for you to even embellish and do a little more fussy cutting with that. But love, love, love this album. We went ahead and did our sheer ribbon where we used the heat tool to warm it up so that it kind of would look like our little gnarly branches there of our tree. Again, now this is created with our 8x8 curved back spine album. So you can see this is the 8x8 size, where we had this one, which is the 6x6 size. And you'll see online that these albums come in 6x6, 6x8, and 8x8 size of the curved back spine. So let's take a look here. This great album is lots of flaps in this. So the images and the graphics, of course, it's graphics 45, so they are wonderful. Cute little accordion here with a postage stamp. So when you go to cut out this piece, you want to leave the 3 intact, so you can make that little mini accordion. Nice little half page that we can put in there. This unties and lifts up. We have a self flap, so we're creating this with a piece of the 12x12 paper, the quad. Now with this particular kit, yes, you get a couple sheets of the 12x12 paper, plus then the whole 8x8 paper pack. The self flap is created, it's cut and then scored 1/4 inch on this side, tucked in adhered to the back of that purple paper before it is adhered to the base page. So you've got a flap there and a little open, little flap here. So on this one, coming from again the 12 by 12 sheet, is that you can create a fold over by cutting out those two together, those pieces together. A little black tack border, another fold over, a 1/2 page. This one will lift down. Does it lift, pull down, lift down? It opens. So this is just a more of a little adult, a little more eerie album for that. And then a pocket, you can add some photos there and another fold over. So this is our Midnight Tales album, G45 paper. And again, it comes with all of the full colored instructions, the cutting guides, the album, the ribbon, you see here, you've got your cutting guide. You have your full colored instructions. It shows you page by page what we're doing with that. Is we have Hello Autumn, which is a great, now this is a 6 by 8, 2-inch spine, straight back album. And the colors on this, again, I love the fall colors. This one we have a lot of flaps. We have flaps upon flaps. So we have a flap onto the flap here with this album. And again, just the really fun colors of the raffia that just accent it, that make it look so fallish. So if this kit, then again, you're gonna get all the paper, the album, the ribbons, the colored raffia. And as you see, there's just a lot of places to add your photos and your memories and the good times with the family. Embellishing that kit there. Now, with this particular album, we have a waterfall spine to it. Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about that. On the curved backs, as you noticed here, you have that binder mechanism. We'll talk about that we can talk about that right now then, because I forgot to mention it. So when you get your album painted and finished and done, then we're going to go ahead and put in the binder mechanism. This has an industrial strength foam tape on it that is going to be stuck into the back side of the album, and once it is stuck, it really is stuck. You are going to rip your chipboard trying to pull up that. So that is really adhered in there. So on the curved back spine albums, they come with the binder mechanism. With the straight back spine albums, most of them are put in with more the waterfall or a magical spine or a paper that's creased and folded and put in there. So that is, if I had one here that I was going to show you. Right, but you can see, so you have the little paper that's already scored for you, and then you put in that first section, then the second section, the third, and the fourth section, and they all fit right into that spine area. Now, you have to make sure that when you're putting down your pattern paper that you do not get it onto the scored line. The pages all come scored for you. So you don't want to put it onto those score lines because your pages will not open and close as nicely if you have any your pattern paper on your score lines. So there is Hello Autumn. And then this ribbon we wrapped around here is a binding. Oops, my back fell off. And then wrapped it around, and then you can tie your bows there. We have our hot cider holder. I think I am out of time. How did I go over time? I guess I need to say thank you.